Fashion is dirty.
There are 100 billion clothes produced every year for 8 billion people on Earth.
It represents 10% of global CO2 emissions.
Some fast fashion brands are releasing new collections every 2 weeks. That creates an enormous amount of clothes that are thrown away without even being worn.
You might think that it's an easy fix. You just have to recycle them.
But the vast majority of clothes actually end up in landfills.
10% of clothing produced gets worn 0 times.
The process is lengthy and expensive.
The recycling infrastructure just isn't there.
The issue of overconsumption.
Consumers like $5 skirts, and that's
the fast fashion generation.
1% of clothing is actually recycled, and
all those wasted clothes could be saved.
If you're taking clothing and then you turn it into insulation, you're not solving the problem that you're creating.
Every second, a truckload of clothes either ends up burned or in the landfill. Most clothes nowadays have a blend of synthetic fabrics like polyester and nylon that make them more durable, stretchy, fashionable, but it also makes them much more of a pain to recycle. Everyone agrees that reducing the amount of clothes produced in the first place is the best way to limit carbon emissions.
But what about the clothes that we need to get rid of? Are they doomed to create a carbon sink?
You can upcycle them. This is actually what my company Lalipari does. It's a way to repurpose clothes that you're not going to be using by directly transforming them into new creation like bags from a shirt, for example.
All of that sounds quite involved. Is there any way to make this a bit more accessible for large amounts of clothing?
There's also some other solutions that are developing with recycling itself.
To be able to recycle fabrics, you have to know what they're made of. Easy. Clothes have labels. You just need to read them. Unfortunately, once again, some clothes might be damaged or they might be hazardous.
Recycling work is often dangerous for low pay.
Actually, today it is mainly handled by manual work. The worker just look at the garment and then predict what kind of material one by one.
Lots of recyclers instead decide to throw out perfectly recyclable clothes. This is an issue that the Hong Kong RITA, a lab specialized in textiles, has been working on for the better part of 2 decades.
My name is Raymond Chiu. I'm a senior research manager in Hong Kong RITA. Different material have different kind of recycled equipment.
Producing high-quality recycled fibers is very finicky. First of all, you need the same composition, color, but also structure, depending on how it's woven.
This is Tech Asia, though, not Textile Asia. Parts of recycling can be automated.
This is garment type sorting machine. This kind of machine can help us to sorting garment type, material, color, and structure. We use hyperspectrum camera to capture the infrared image. Coupled with AI technology, we can identify the material.
This kind of sorting could greatly reduce the cost of recycling fibers.
There is more than thousands of different kinds of fabric material. That's why we have to build up a database. This camera will study the structure of the fabric, whether they are made from woven or non-woven fabric or a knit garment. Without these technologies, most of the garment now is mixed for filling material, not for garment. The filling material is a downcycle process. If the fiber can be made the yarn again, almost new garment can be made the recycled fiber. This is not a new technology, but no one has made a database before. If this kind of technology can be used, waste can be reduced dramatically.
These kinds of technologies have yet to be deployed in the real world.
We have built up the key element for the recognition. We can share our database to them. They just need to buy the hardware. The machine can be scaled up, can be much more bigger. Our target to make our equipment handle 25 tons of garment per day.
It's important to remember that this sorting technology cannot do anything if clothes are not recyclable in the first place.
And it's not the only part of the recycling chain that is evolving. From new recyclable fabrics to using fungi to recycle blend, there's lots happening in the fashion space. Now I'm afraid that's the end of our thread for this week's episode. Here's a thought that you can put your recycling minds to. You can watch some of our old videos. We'll spin you a tale for however long you like. Now, I'm afraid it's time for me to go. I was hoping to use the robot to fold my laundry, but that didn't quite work out. Till then, take care.